Hey guys, Dr. Lee here over at Head to Toe Spine and Sport, going through a little bit of a warm-up, a little bit of a cool-down after you hit CrossFit 19.3. So this week we have some overhead lunges, some box step-ups, some handstand push-ups, and more handstand walks right after that. So going to be a burner, definitely going to be massive if you can even get through this one, but I know you guys are going to be capable. The main things we want to engage before we get this workout are good shoulder mobility and good glute activation. So what we're going to start with is 3 good release points with this lacrosse ball, and then we're going to go to 2 really good activating exercises, and then we're going to hit a nice cool down with the foam rollers and a good stretch. So first thing we're going to start with, take this lacrosse ball, we're going to attack this upper trap here. Since we're doing all this stuff where we're really overhead, we're going to have to lock this guy out. We definitely want him to be loose before we get into this workout, because if he's tight going in, it's going to cramp up really easy and you're not going to get the amount of time that you want, the amount of rounds that you want to get in. So we're going to take this ball, put it right on that upper trap. We're going to lean right into the wall here. And if we find a good spot right in there, this one kind of refers for me a little bit into my chest, a little bit down to the side of the shoulder. All I want to do here is leave that ball on the spot. I'm going to move my shoulder up and overhead. I'm going to bring it across. For me, I'm feeling a couple clicks, pops, releases. They're not painful. I'm not really too concerned about it. If anything, it's going to free up motion for me. So bring it across, going back. You guys probably can't see my feet here, but I'm pushing into the ground, driving my force into the ball, and just finding that big trigger point and releasing it. I'm not rolling or anything like that. That's not going to be too effective. If I just find a nasty spot and just keep constant pressure on it, we're going to break it down. It's going to give us some more range. So next part we're going to go to is the lat. So we're above the scapula, the shoulder blade right here for the trapezius. We're going to go on the underside of the scapula now and hit this lat. So we did this one last week. It's going to be really effective with helping us get our arm overhead. So what we want to do is take it here, go right at this angle of the scapula, drop right below that. I generally turn my body about 45 degrees into the wall. And for me, that exposes a pretty decent trigger point, but I do have to put a fair amount of force into my feet here to get it. This one I like to just take deep breaths. My rib motion, that expansion of the ribs, is going to be massive for releasing this muscle from a more permanent standpoint. But another thing we can do is we're going to put our elbow right on the wall here. We can go into some external rotation and internal rotation, and also some overhead press, which ultimately is what we're going to be needing this release for, to hold this weight overhead. So you do a couple passes through. Once that motion frees up, you might feel a little bit of clicks, pops, releases. It's totally what we're going for. It's totally okay. Last release we want is a hip flexor release right on the psoas. So we're going to find our ASIS, that point that we rest our hands on. We're going to bring the ball and bring it in about an inch. And for me, if I go right at my belt line, I'm okay. But for some people, it's going to be above or below. So here we just want to put all our body weight on this ball. We're just going to lay right on it. And for me, I'm not too sensitive, so I can actually posteriorly rotate my pelvis and drive my hips forward into the ball. Some people, it might be more comfortable to lift the leg on the side where the ball is. For you, it's going to be different than somebody else, so you just want to find what works for you. All these releases I tend to do for about 1 to 2 minutes for a spot. Typically don't find more than 2 or 3 spots on myself. You might find more. Resist the temptation to want to release all those before you work out, because you're going to be super sore afterwards if you do. So, good release points. I'm going to go right into some activators now. So, for the shoulders, I like a good shoulder car. So, controlled articular rotation, that means just bring the shoulders to a full range of motion, engaging all those muscles, the rotators, the depressors, the pecs, the lats, everything. So, moving forward here, I like to put my hand right on my belly. We're going to open our hand up, increase some neural drive to all these tissues. We're going to flex the shoulder overhead. Once I get to the top, I want to engage some rotation. So for me, I kind of like to just twist side to side. As we continue back here, going through this full range circle, I'm going to continue to turn, rotating inward with my arm. Cut the corner here and swipe the back of my hand against my hip. So this is how I'm going to end that one. So to do it again, we're going to bring the shoulder forward, goes above our head, we rotate internally, keep turning, until we complete that circle right there. And then we're going to go with the reverse option. So pointing that thumb behind us, we're going to extend, we'll rotate, rotate into external rotation before you bring that arm through, kind of like we're doing a freestyle stroke. So again here, start with that thumb pointing behind us. We'll extend. We'll externally rotate before we bring that arm forward like a freestyle stroke again. So that's going to engage every muscle around the shoulder joint here. It's going to make it nice and happy. It's not going to be the first time we lift our arm overhead if we're doing that exercise, which you definitely don't want to go into this one cold. You will burn out. You might hurt yourself, and I don't want you guys to do that. So next little activator, we're going to try to activate our hip joints here. So we're going more for the glutes specifically. We're going to be doing a lot of lunges, a lot of volume. So we want to feel this mid to glute area, maybe even a little bit lower around where the glute and the hammy meet. So for here, I like to do a nice lunge. So it's not going to be the same lunge you're probably going to do in this workout where it's super wide. That's not a very efficient movement. We're actually going to shorten this up just a little bit. And our main point that we're going to try to go for stimulation again is this mid glute. So when I'm here, I'll drop my weight backward, like I'm reaching for a chair. I'm not going any further than this because I already feel my activation in that mid glute. So what I'm going to go from here is just straight up. So right here, we're down and we're up. Down and up. So when we're talking about an activation technique, you want to feel the muscles that you're targeting. You don't want to just go through and just do a bunch of exercises, make yourself warm. If you're not feeling the muscle that you want to engage, you're not doing this correctly. So again, we'll go into another review of this lunge. We take a little bit of a shorter step, about 1 foot to 2 feet between my heel and my toe. We're going to drag into the ground here, squeeze the ground, and just drop our hips back. I feel this glute stimulating right in here, right where that hammy and the glute meet, and come right back up. So nice hip hinge and up. Really simple. Probably not going to need to do more than 5 to 10 of those on each side before you feel the glutes really working and starting to activate. Don't overdo it because, again, it's going to take a lot of endurance to get through this workout. So, last thing, we've already done our workout now. We want to do a nice cool down. All we need here, trusty foam roller. So we take the foam roller, we're going to attack our calves, our hamstrings, and our glutes first. So I tend to go one side at a time. You can do 2 sides, it really doesn't matter. Trying to get this whole calf and flush any of that swelling that might occur, any of that inflammation that's growing as we work out. Because ultimately that's what we want. We want to bring the inflation in and then clear it out as quickly as possible so that we can recover as soon as we can so we can hit another workout. So that's the calves. We'll hit the hammies. And we'll work up into the glute. So the glute, I tend to figure 4 on my leg, expose a little bit more fibers, especially these distal glute max fibers. And when I do that, I actually get a different spot in the hammy as well. So, going to the next one. I'm going to figure 4 this leg, expose that lateral glute, and just going back and forth. I'm going to go parallel and perpendicular to those fibers to get the most effect. Last one we're going to go to is just freeing up these quads here before we show you a nice hip flexor stretch. So as you notice, I'm not spending 5 minutes on each muscle group. I'm just stimulating the area, moving that swelling up, trying to bring it closer to my heart, closer to my liver, closer to my spleen. Those organs are eventually going to clear out any of that inflammation and ultimately help us recover a little bit faster. So last stretch we want to go to, we're going to use this foam roller again. So I'm just going to place this guy right along the mat here. I'm going to kneel on one leg. And my target is this hip flexor of the down knee. So from sitting in this position, I want to get a nice stacked profile. So my knee, ankle, hip, shoulder are all in alignment. From here, I'm going to posteriorly rotate my pelvis. So rotating the pelvis backward. From there, I already feel a pretty decent stretch in the front here, but if I squeeze my glute and then raise my hand, I get an even deeper stretch. This is going to expose my iliacus muscles, my psoas major and minor, and then I always like to add a little bit of lateral flexion away from the side that I'm stretching. So as you guys know, proper cool down is going to be the best thing you can do to put yourselves on the best foot forward when you're going into your next workout. If you don't do a cool down, you're not aligning your body, you're not giving it the right information that it needs to put down the proper muscle cells, you're not going to get the collagen formation that you want. Eventually you're going to be in pain. So hope you guys like that one. It's a nice little workout, nice little pre-warm-up, little post-workout to get you into 19.3. So let me know how it feels. Leave a comment below.